Hi, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, friends. Wherever you are in the world, make a great day. So, once again, let's start with the new learning. Again, welcome to my channel. My name is Sanjay. So, we have seen in the last video what are the different steps to get the job abroad. So, out of that, the very important step are the interview. So, assume that your resume is shortlisted for the first round of the interview. So, what happens in the first round? What cares you have to take? What preparation you have to? What things you have to be prepared? That I will cover in this video. So, let's start. So before start, let me recover the past things. So I explain you the three ways to get the job abroad, right? The first one is that's the easiest one. You are getting the on-site opportunity through your organization. So this is a very easiest way to get the job, and there is no need to put the extra efforts in this opportunity. The second one is going and doing higher studies in the abroad, right? And once you have a visa, you have contacts, and you are grown up in the culture, so it also help you to get the job abroad. And this is a little bit difficult step to get the job. And third one is directly finding the opportunity from your home country. And that's what I followed. It's a difficult. So assume that your resume is shortlisted. You have followed all my steps which have explained by me in the previous video. So let's assume your resume is shortlisted and you have to prepare for the interview. So how you can prepare? What are the steps? What things to needs to be cared? Let's start with this video. So the first round in most of the country, like European countries as well as the United States, happen is a psychological test. What is the psychological test? It's a numerical ability to test the candidate. Either he is fit psychologically to work in that environment. That is being tested through this psychological test. So there are different platforms which conducts the psychological test, and here you need to register. Out of that is Alva Labs is very well known. eSkill is there, Test Gorilla, Moodle is there, Kodik is there. So just look here. I have shared the websites or the organization which conducts the different tests. Here you can see. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to enroll on their website and prepare accordingly, right? But uh, enrollment is not free. Most of the organizations ask you for paying the package. Remember that the psychological test score is valid for a year, the way it happens for the GATE. As you know that the GATE is the most prestigious exam in engineering, and the score remains valid for a year. The same way, the psychological test score also remains valid for a year. So before preparing for the psychological test, once you enroll or once you register for a specific the organization which I provided here, you have to be prepared, right? How you can prepare? You can go Google it, how the test happens. You can go through the different tutorials on the YouTube. That's how it could help you to make a better score. Now, how it is defined, the good score, the bad score. Normally, the results of this psychological test comes into percentage. If you are scoring above 80%, that means your score is good. I would say the outstanding score or exceptional score. If you are scoring above 70%, 70 to 80%, then your score is considered as a best score. And if you are below 70%, then it is considered as a good score. Up to the 50 and below 50, it is considered as a poor score. So make sure that you will prepare for the best, I would say, for the outstanding. Okay, go through the different tutorials available in the YouTube, go through the Google, and accordingly prepare. Let's assume you have cleared your psychological test, right? So first round is a psychological test, and I would say the 80 to 90% of the European organizations ask you for preparing for this psychological test. Now let's say you are clear for the psychological test and you are entering to the next level of the round. Now usually what happens, usually it takes 7 to 15 days to get the call from the recruiter or the email from the recruiter that um, you are being selected for the next round of the interview. And this round is the first round of the introduction part, which happens with the your employment or your organization, right? So Before, let me tell you one thing. If you are paying on yourself for registering the different organizations for the psychological test, which I mentioned, just remember that most of the European countries or most of the European organization as well as most of the uh, United States organizations enroll the candidate once uh, his or her resume is shortlisted for that position. So you don't need to pay for that. But if you are proactively want to register, want to see, then go ahead, pay the charges for the yearly, whatever the package is there, and get enrolled and do the test. And make sure that the score is valid for the year. Now the next round, and this round is the first round. What you have to do, you have to prepare for this round. This round is not a technical round. In the first round, they will understand you, and this round is for the both. The interviews will happen for them as well as for you as well as. So what you have to do, you have to prepare. How you can prepare? Make sure that your interview will start your personal details. You start with your education, then explain your in very short, I would say 2 to 3 months are good enough to talk about your family, about your personal, talk about your hobbies, talk about your strength and weakness. It's very important. While talking to the weakness, make sure that you will bring at least one weakness, and bring us such a weakness with the examples that show that you are trying to overcome that weakness. Don't just show that this is my weakness. Bring some examples, or tell them a few examples, as well as if you have registered somewhere for any course which could help you to improve your weakness. That's very important. So strength, 2 to 3 strengths, weakness, at least one weakness with the examples showing that you are overcoming that. Hobbies, 2 to 3 hobbies, personal background, your family details, and your educational background. That 2 to 3 minutes, maximum 4 5 minutes are good enough for talking about the personal details when you start your introduction. When they give the opportunity to introduce yourself, then you jump to your professional journey. So jumping to the professional journey is very important. You start from the beginning. As soon as you pass out your BTech or the MTech or Masters or any science graduation or post graduation, you explain your first organization, where you started, the name of the organization, and just brief introduction about that organization is very important. Let me tell you one example. If I am talking about any Asian organization like Tata Motors, I would say Tata Motors is world's fifth largest truck manufacturer. They produces the buses, they produces trucks, passenger cars. That way you make the impact of your organization where you want. That's very important. In 2 to 3 minutes, you talk about the organization. Once you talk about the organization, then you jump to the projects. What is important? What are the different projects you have handled in that organization? What was your role? What was the team size? Key responsibilities? That's very important. Don't talk all the projects in detail at this moment. You just have to touch the projects. Just telling the titles and your role, responsibility, team size. Very important when you jump from one organization to other organization, talking about your experience. It's very important you talk about the key takeaways from that organization. What are the different tools? What are the different methodologies? What are your patents? What are your any copyrights? Talk about that from that organization. That's very important. Then jump to the other organization. Same, talk about that organization very short in 2 to 3 minutes. Then talk about the projects, your key role, your responsibility, team size, key takeaways, and that's very important. Very short, you can also talk about why you left the job in very short. No need to go in very detail. So this is how you can introduce them with very effectively, starting from your personal details, then your professional journeys, and then you allow them to talk about the position. Before preparing for any interview or the first round, you need to go thoroughly about the profile, or which profile they are looking for. And while talking about your professional journey, highlight that skills. Highlight, show that skills, how you have worked on that skill. That's very important. It's a smart way to grab the opportunity. So make sure you will talk on the skills which the opportunity is asking for, and then let them ask. to talk about that opportunity. So they will introduce themselves to you. They will talk about the team. They will talk about the role and responsibility. But make sure that they will also ask you, do you know about this opportunity? What do you know about the position? What do you know about this organization? So be prepared for that position. Be prepared for the organization. You need to dig about the organization. You should know what that organization is mean for, where they work, what is their history, what are their achievements. Prepare that, and then if they ask, what do you know about ourselves, then you can start with that. I know little bit, blah blah blah. This is the organization started. This is the journey we have started. You guys have started. Today here we are. So that way you can talk about. So it makes very big impression out of that. You are well prepared about, you are well known about where you are going to apply, what is the organization, what is the position. You talk about the position as well, and let them talk about more in detail. So they will start, they will introduce. If they are 2 to 3 people, if is the only one person, he will talk about himself, herself, introduce to you, as well as talk about the position. And finally, it's very important what they will ask you. They will ask you, have any questions? Please prepare 2 to 3 questions. It's very important. Don't say I don't have any question. Talk about the position, talk about the organization, talk about the location, talk about the contract, talk about your role. Wherever the point you want to bring, please bring upfrontly. That's very important, how effectively you close your communication with your queries. This shows that you are interactive, you are more curious about the position. So that's very important. So this is your first round. So first round will go for an hour. Mostly it can go up to hour. Many times it can be a 45 minutes, in many times it can be a 1 hour and 30 minutes, but mostly it goes for the 1 hour. So half an hour for you and half an hour for them. Once you clear for the first round, then you jump for the next round. The next round, mostly in European countries, goes for the technical round, as well as in the United States, it's a technical round. You have to be prepared from your technical skills, whatever you have learned throughout your journey. Prepare the questions and answers. Accordingly, you have to crack that interview. I will not talk more on this technical round because it's up to the personal how he or she can prepare for that and crack that interview. Assume that my all wishes are with you and you have cracked the second round as well. That is the, I would say, the third round. First is a psychological test. Second is your personal introduction about talking about the position as well. Third one is a technical round. Then you will jump to the fourth round, that is called a Techno-manager round. In most of the organization, sorry to say the most of the organization, but in the few organization, if that position is related to simulation or related to some simulation related work, they may ask you for doing some practical stuff as well. They will they will pass you to some assignments. You have to prepare on that, and then they will conduct you the group interview where they can ask you for the different questions on how logically you have solved that, or how you simulated that, why this block, why not this, why you are using this loop, why not that. So you have to prepare for that as well. But the few organizations ask for this group round, and this is called the practical round. But most of the organization, 80 to 90% organization, follow these steps: psychological test, first round, that is the introduction round, then the technical round, and then the Techno-manager round. Now Techno-manager round is also very important, equally important when we compare for the other rounds. So here your personality will get tested, right? How you are prepared for that position, as an employee or as an leader, how you are a good leader or how you are a good team member, that is going to test here. So you have to also prepare for this Techno-manager round. What are the questions been asked for the technical round, Techno-manager round? The very important questions or the common questions are, what are the situation, have you ever faced the situation where you failed in one of the project? Very fluently and upfrontly you have to bring that case if you have failed. And if you fail, bring the good examples about your learning, what you learned out of that. The next round, the next question might be about your personality, like, have you ever faced the situation where you have to take a call or the decision against your manager, against your team, You have to bring some such cases where you have taken a good decision or the good call. That call might be a good, might be a bad. But if it is a bad call, you have to end your discussion with your learning, what you learned, what the team learned, what your manager learned, what how effectively your failure added the value to the group. That you have to bring very effectively. Be prepared for that examples. Be prepared or dig into your past where you failed but you learned a lot and it helped to the team as well. That you have to effectively put to the technical in the techno-manager round. That's very important. So this kind of questions may come where you failed, what is your success, what are the challenges you faced, have you managed the budget, have you cut down the budget, is any challenge within your team member, have you how you handle that situation, have you ever faced some situation where one of the candidate, because of the one of the candidates performance, your work delivery is getting impacted, how you handle that situation. That's very important. You can bring such cases and you can tell that you personally visited that person, understood his priorities, his challenges, and you how you helped him, because helping others means indirectly you are helping yourself to make your project run effectively within the timeline. That's very important. Have you ever faced any situation where your project has skipped the timeline? How you handle that situation? How effectively you put the reasons to the top management? Such questions may come for the techno manager round. You can Google it, YouTube it, how you can prepare for the techno manager round. But you have to show that you are a best team player, you are a best leader, and you are the best teammate while working within the team. And the weakness, strength, as well as how you can learn from your mistakes as well as your failures. That's very important. That's you have to bring very effectively to within this round. And again, let's hope you have cleared this round and you are jumping to the next round of the interview, and that's very important. That's the HR round. HR round will go very smooth because you have almost completed the 70% of your work, or 70 to 80%. 20% is about your personal details and understanding about the position. If you have any questions on your assignment, your engagement, contractual opportunity, or the permanent opportunity, you can upfrontly bring that to the HR round. So that's all. I guess no need to that much of the preparation for the HR round, but it is always better to prepare something, right? Always be prepared for the HR round, and I guess you are done then. If the HR round is done, then you are done. Very interesting fact in the Europe, your salary is not being discussed by the HR team. Your salary is discussed by your manager. That's very interesting. Once you clear all the round, your a manager will connect you back, and he or she will talk on the salary. That's very important. And then the next steps, once you are okay with the salary and everything, you will accept that offer and you will join soon. So I guess that's all I have to cover for today's interview. Please be prepared for psychological test. Then the introduction part is very important. How you effectively start your personals, then jump to the professional, and how you can introduce the different organizations where you worked and the key takeaways from that organization. Then how you can prepare for the technical round. Then the techno manager where you can talk about your failures, learning from that failures, your effective way of looking for the different problems. That's are very important in the technical manager round. And then the last round is your HR round. In some cases, as I explained, the practical round will happen. They will ask you to prepare some test or some assignments, and in the group they will ask the different questions. The last round definitely will be the HR round. I hope this video will definitely help you. If you have any questions, please quote your question, please comment your question so that I can reach you and help you with more details. Thanks for watching my video, but before signing off, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Have a nice day. Good day.